What's happening, guys? This is Doc Illingsworth of Detroit City. It's Detroit CYDI for Can You Dig It? Shout out Rufio Jones. Shout out Sean Uppercut. What up, Strife? AOG. Shouts out to all the rappers that hold up the wrong numbers. I got 5 killers with me when we down the ride. I got 7 killers with me when we on the street. Just want to say real quick, I tried to do this. I was talking for like over 15 minutes so that I would have plenty to edit down into a shorter video. And the computer crashed on me, and I lost the whole video. So I may not seem as excited as you're used to, or even as I was on the take that will never be seen, but when your computer crashes on you, feel very defeated right now. Anyway, let's talk about some music. This is going to be the first ever music review that I have done on my channel, and I have the honor to say that it is a review of a new project that is yet to be released by a tall black guy called 8 Miles to Moenart. Tall black guy is a producer. He spent some time in Detroit. He spent some time in Chicago. Now he's living in London. He won a Red Bull, I believe a national Red Bull beat battle in 2008. But yeah, tall black guy, Terrell Wallace. Shout out to Shaka. Because I've been getting familiar with tall black guy's catalog, one thing I've come to notice and appreciate definitely is skillful arrangements, versatility, going from things that very much have a hip-hop feel to jazzy to funky, and on this EP even to you could almost say the trap style, but in a melodic kind of way. I didn't really have any stylistic expectations for this album going into it. Like I said, tall black guy is very versatile. The only expectation I can say I really did have was that it was going to be good music. If you're familiar with tall black guy's catalog, if you like the this type of music, you already know tall black guy, he been sweet. He been sweet. So that's what you're gonna expect. He's pretty consistent. I was not disappointed whatsoever in that aspect. I also wasn't disappointed in the realm of versatility, because when you get a chance to listen to this EP, you'll be able to hear for yourself that the styles, they jump all over the place, but it all sounds like him. It sounds like it was crafted with care and intention, which is sometimes something that you miss from instrumental releases. To speak about some of the music without giving too much away, before you guys get to hear it, with the beats, let me tell you, the drums are hard. The drums are hard on this EP. The drums are so hard, I even got a button. Got a special Apollo Brown button for hard drums.
Drums gotta be hard at all times. Drums gotta be hard at all times.
Drums gotta be hard. But I enjoy that some producers are not giving up on chopping up drum breaks. Drum breaks being chopped up, repurposed, rearranged, so you still kind of get that authentic sound of a drum kit, but guys taking that and making it their own. 8 Miles to Moenart, it starts off with this really cool intro where there's a group of guys and they're kind of making fun of a guy because he's tall and black and is not good at basketball. So what TBG does is he takes that sentence, he says the word guy, he says the word tall, he says the word black. He doesn't say it in the order of tall black guy, and TBG takes that and chops that up to vocalize his own name, which I thought was pretty cool. Not everybody has the ability to do that with their name. Or maybe if their name is like some kind of made up name that nobody ever says. There are lots of interludes and vocal samples on this EP that kind of help to set the mood and give you a story of some sort, which is kind of difficult sometimes with instrumental releases. I mean, you can definitely take people on a journey and tell a story solely through music without having vocals. But it definitely helps to have these interludes because it kind of gives you a sense of what I believe this EP is trying to convey. Kind of put me in the same mind as The Roots, Things Fall Apart. That album, to me, it's an album that is very important to my own formative years. And so from getting that kind of feeling, listening to 8 Miles to Moenart, I thought that was a cool thing. The title, 8 Miles to Moenart, which is in reference to 2 streets here in/around Detroit, Michigan. But you're probably familiar with the street 8 Mile from the movie 8 Mile. 8 Mile is a street that is north of Detroit. Yeah, north of Detroit. It's kind of like a boundary line between Detroit and some of the adjacent suburbs, which you probably already know from the movie 8 Mile. And Moenart, which is a street that part of it is in Detroit, which I personally was not too familiar with until recently. I'm still not really completely familiar with it, but I've been there. I took a drive down Moenart, I think it was during the summer. It's kind of rough. It was kind of rough out there. You know me, I'm not really a street type of guy, so you already know your boy. I was into the math books. I was not in with the crooks. I hopped out of the car for a second. There wasn't really too many people on the street, but I didn't want to be just on their block looking out of place. You know, the people outside look cool. The track titles basically prepare you for the kind of energetic yet melancholy kind of journey that you're about to get taken on, which is kind of how the album feels. Like, it's energetic, yet it has this kind of melancholy thoughtfulness to it as far as the arrangements, the choices of vocal samples for the interludes. The track titles on this EP definitely put you in the mind of this story that's being told of you know, somebody that's going from humble beginnings, from a struggle, a state of a bit more optimism, a bit more opportunity. This instrumental EP addresses those things, from the title of the entire project to track titles, the dark streets, funeral beds, from home to work and back. The standout tracks for me were Dark Streets, There's No More Soul, From Home to Work and Back, which is probably my favorite. From Home to Work and Back has these really cool like guitar chords. I know it's hard to make a chord with only one mouth. Leave me alone. You know what I mean. You'll hear it. Very dope bass line. I do like how TVG manages to give a very live sound to program drums. The drum programming doesn't feel robotic, which I think is kind of a staple for like production of this type. It's always that aim to have things sound real, sound live, not like quantized. I'm giving away too much, but the outro has like a hidden track kinda that comes after the outro is like over. It's kind of banging. It's kind of banging. It's kind of banging. I guess my only complaints about this EP would be that a couple of the tracks I feel like are too short. One track I feel like is too short is There's No More Soul, which is really funny because that track is like 4 minutes. So it's like, what are you talking about? It's too short. I wanted to hear it longer. Shut up. I actually kind of felt like the intro was too short as well. The beat that was going on behind the vocal samples of the guy saying tall black guy was kind of interesting to me. I do kind of wish that would have got built up some more and went a little further. You know, maybe TBG will revisit it at some point, make it into a full track. Maybe he'll, you know, contact a guy from Detroit who wears stupid hats to rap on it. Who knows? I don't know. He might want to do that. I also like the track Mon Ami de Toi, which had a vocal performance from Ozay Moore, who I can say I'm not very familiar with, but this was definitely a nice first impression. It has this nice like sung chorus, like Motown City, kind of haunting, sort of, kind of, but it's cool. The bass line on that track, the bass lines on most of these tracks are quite ridiculous. I'm gonna have to ask that man like what he's playing them on. The quality of the sounds themselves are like, it's pretty cool, very deep. Not like a subby kind of sound, but like it sends like nice vibes through my subwoofer, make my feet feel good. I like it. Oh, I've managed to talk too long yet again. In closing, I just want to say, when this project gets released, make sure you check it out for yourself. Anytime you watch a review about some music you're interested in, make sure you check it out for yourself. Don't take my opinion as gold. It's not. Make up your own mind. Make your own choices. But definitely give it a shot. Give it a chance. Peace out from Detroit, Michigan. Dr. Illingsworth of Detroit City, signing off.